Well, it's time to do some modifications to my Harbor Freight high lift. I did a tire repair on the Harley a little while ago, and in order to get up, of course, I use the high lift. I used it before, but I find that it's a little unstable, and lifting a 750-pound bike, I don't like things wobbling. So what I'm going to do is a few modifications to the lift. And for one thing, there's a problem with the interference with the shocks on this model. This is a 2007 Heritage Softail, and in between the frames underneath, the shock absorbers protruded a little bit. And in order to avoid lifting on the shock absorber and risking bending them, you got to kind of position the two forks here away from them, of course. But in order to do this lift, I had to go to the back because I wanted to work on the rear wheel. And it made the front end really heavy. I couldn't get it off the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the width of the lifting forks. There's enough room in between them to add a little bit extra. And I'm going to add some supports that'll grab the frame and hopefully give it better support. I'll also work on the actual main body of the lift itself. The one thing that worries me is the only thing that's keeping this thing from tipping over forward is a shear strength on this back bolt. The front one rests on this heavy piece of angle, but the back one is what's keeping it from tipping forward. So I'm going to add a little bit extra support there. And the natural position of this thing, because of that, is the whole body is tilted forward a little bit. There's a gap at the back. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, there's a gap back here, and it's tight at the front. So the whole frame is tilted forward. So what I'm going to do is add a little extra support at the back for that. And I may even add a couple wings to extend, I don't know if you can see this, to extend the main legs out a little bit because the thing wobbles pretty bad. And I'll probably make a few extra supports at the two positions. Let's see, this is, of course, it's all the way, it's not all the way down here. Here we go. There's two locations where you can put the safety pins in. So that'll give me two ways of jacking it. Not two ways of jacking, but to hold it in a safety position. But I'll also add something at the back here. I don't know if that's the back or the front. Anyway, I'll put extra like a safety stands in there. So that's the project. So let's get working. I found that some aluminum I had in stock here does the trick just fine. This is 80 thou aluminum sheet that I had. Originally I was building blades for a wind generator in my previous house, but that project never came through. But anyway, I'll be cutting off pieces, actually 6 by 1 3/4 inches to fill that gap, because I don't want to have the bolts under stress prior to even putting a load on it. You know, because if there's a gap here, when you put in an extra bolt to hold this solid, then you're putting stress on this other bolt. So I don't want that. I want it to be unstressed before I put a load on it. Here we go. It's reinforced now. I've got the spacer in here. So it's actually contacting, the two sections are actually contacting now, and that removes the stress from the back bolt because the thing wants to tip this way because all the weight's up there. And I have a Federloy half-inch bolt in here, which is essentially a grade 12 bolt. So same on the other side. So that takes care of that issue. I just want to show you how, I'm not going to say flimsy, but how much flex there is to this. I don't weigh very much. I'm about 135 pounds, And to have this much play with my weight on it, can you imagine 750 pounds? So, and actually I put these additional rubber mounts some time back to lift this end of the lift. But even then, with the bike on there, they compress down, and I still have that downward tilt at this end of the forks here. So I'm going to put something more solid under there to help it a little bit. Okay, this is what I have so far for the main piece, and it's not finished yet, it's still rough, so it's got to be cleaned up and all that good stuff. So that'll fit here, and it'll this size of Schedule 40 pipe fits the bottom tube of the frame perfectly. So I'll just put a little bit of a rubber coating on there, maybe just glue a piece of inner tube. That'll work. Anyway, I have to make another piece to go back here. And this one here will only be flat, so it doesn't need to grip the frame in both places, and they'll be connected together. And while the bike is being lifted, it tilts, so it's going to tend to slide a little bit. And I've got these, oh no, got a mess here. This is from an old blind that took apart, and it makes a really good slide, so I'll just put the slides over here. But I don't want it falling off the end, so when I'm doing this, I'll have a bolt over here to keep things from going disastrous on me. So that's where I've got so far. I need some cleaning up, and I got another piece to make. Okay, here we go. It's all together. Welds are cleaned up a little bit. I may clean them up a little bit more before I paint it. And this is exactly 9-inch center to center. Oops, I can't see here. 9-inch center to center, which matches the rails. And it's allowed to slide, just in case well, of course, the way this thing is designed, it's going to move forward and backward depending on your height. And the tilting of the bike doesn't help either. So I have to check it out. I haven't tested it yet, so I'm just hoping that my theory works. So I guess I'll bring the bike in. Something I didn't mention was the issue with the shocks hanging under the frame rail. They don't hang out too much, enough to damage if you're going straight across. But I found that I did an initial test, just the height of adding the, I guess the joiner plate and the half pipe here, plus this other little joiner, gives it enough clearance. It gives it about 1/8 of an inch clearance, which should be enough. At least it's not touching like it had been before when I tried to get the weight balance correct so it wouldn't tilt forward or backwards. So I think this is going to work, and I won't need any more adjustments as far as height goes. Well, it lifts it. It's better than it was, but I still don't like it. If I grab the windshield here, it's still way too wobbly. I don't know if you can actually see that. Here we go. So when I get it up to the first notch position and lock it with a pin here, I'll measure the front over here and make 2 little stands to solidify this wobbling issue. I really don't like it. I never have, and I put it up before without any adapters. This is a lot better. It takes a lot of fiddling to get it to work correctly, but it's there. It's better than it was, but not perfect. Well, here's a quick solution I found prior to making a specialized stand, which I'll probably do anyway. But I just found some 6x6 blocks I had from, I guess I built a deck or something, and put it under the legs here, and that really, it's really solid there now. So that helps a lot. It's on the pin in the back. Oops, I put it on this side. Back here, and then the two solid blocks, and it's not wobbling at all. So I'll keep on here for now while I build the other stands and see how they work out. The mid position, what I call mid position, between the two safety holes would be an ideal height for doing tire changes and so on and so forth. But I think they eliminated that or did not include it because the distance between the center of gravity and the center of the holes would be 24 inches compared to, let's jack it up here, the high position, which brings it in closer. I think it may just be for safety that they've done this. There we go. And now it is basically 17 inches from the center of the main support, and probably the same at the low position. Whoops, I went too far. Here's the low position, and it is 22 inches. It's a little bit further than the high position, but it's closer to the ground, so it's probably not as critical. So I would like to have it halfway, but I don't think I can do it safely. This thing is rated at 1,100 pounds, but I just couldn't even try. I can't even think of trying that. That's just too unstable. So I'll leave it the way it is, a high position and a low position, and work around it. Here's the bike in the high position. I'm not even going to try to shake it a little bit because I don't have much confidence in it in this position. What I may have to do, if I need to use this position, I'm going to have to build longer supports on this side to solidify this mount. And I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see this. But the flex of the metal in the stand makes it tilt to the left side, which I don't like. It's strapped down, but still, I don't like it. So what I'll do is I'll build a couple stands to go under here with screws to actually crank it up a little bit more, because it's down, I would say, about 1.5 inches on the side. I don't like that. And the adapter has a higher lift on this side and the other side to start with. So this thing is really unstable. This is rated at 1,100 pounds. But I think they just did a calculation based on the geometry and the strength of the little hydraulic jack, and you really have to pump hard to get it up here. So I'm going to let it down right now because I don't feel confident with it. So yeah, I guess that's what I'll have to do. Should I need to use the high position, I'm just going to make some stands that have a screw to crank it up. In my original arrangement, my two half pipes were this length. I think that was 4 inches. And what I had to do in order to clear the frame, I had to move it forward this amount, but that made the bike tail heavy. So what I had to do is cut off a piece of this section, and what I'm going to do is add an extra piece here to compensate. And when I had to lift it up on the lift in this position with the extra member that was welded onto the frame, just butt up to the just the round section. It was basically, I'm not going to say a perfect balance, but it's very, very good. So I'm just going to weld this little piece back in there, and that should take care of it. Okay, I have the adjustable feet manufactured. They just have a, what is this, 3/16 plate left over from the old treadmill again. And kind of went overboard on the size of these screws because that's what I had in stock was 7/8 inch threaded rod. That was from another project. So, you know, instead of buying more, I just used this stuff. It's a little bit large. And I just welded a matching nut at the front of these legs, not painted yet. Bubblegum welding, of course. It wasn't a great place to be welding, but I think that'll hold. There's enough metal on there, no problem. So I'll paint this up, put it together, and that's it for the lift. The other thing I did, not exactly finished yet. There was slop in these arms. The shoulder bolt was extending a little bit further, so I just put a spacer washer in here and down here. I just made that out of aluminum. I may clean it up, maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, that keeps some of the side-to-side movement down a little bit. So I'll finish it up, paint it up, and that's it for this project. Well, I can now work on the Harley with a bit more confidence, and using the 6x6s is going to be the way to go for me anyway, because I've already got them, and they're perfect for the low application. Well, I changed my mind. I decided to go ahead and build a stand for this rather than using the 6x6 blocks. Now, do you remember these at the beginning? These are the pieces I used, left over from the treadmill once again. I'm running out of parts from that treadmill. It was the gift that keeps on giving, that's for sure. So I decided to use what I had, and these are basically useless to me for any other project, but I thought these would work great for this particular job. So this is what I ended up with, and let's see. I'll just give you a demo on how it basically works. It's pretty simple. I had something much more complicated designed at first, but simple is better. This is a very simple design, and it should be very, very stable. I think it is going to be very stable. And basically, you'll just have the bike. Let's say it's on the side stand right now, and you crank it up. Now, it depends which side you're cranking the bike from. You can you just reverse the adapter I built. No big deal. So you just crank it up beyond the safety bar or safety pin area. Stick it in, and then put this in here. What I've got is 2 pins, and all that holds them is a spring clip. One. The bike is on here at this point in time. Let it drop. It's loose like this. It's no big deal. Then you just drop it down to, boom, where the bike would be sitting nice and super solid. No budging now. So there you go. So I think that'll work. You'll just get a little bit of a paint job, and this project is finished. One more thing. I did a little bit of research after doing this video, and I checked Harbor Freight, and it seems like they don't carry this lift anymore. Probably for obvious reasons. They probably had a lot of complaints about it being unstable, so they don't carry this anymore. But I'm not going to go out and buy another one while I've got this one, so it's easier for me to just do modifications. So yeah. Okay, let's do it from the left side, which is probably a better side if you're going to do anything with back wheel. You have to pull off the back muffler to get at the axle nut. We'll put it with a cradle at the on the left side again, and slide this under there. Now it's really tight. And the not the safety stand, the Jiffy stand acts as a good guide that aligns the rear cradle with the frame where the extra welded member is located. Now, let's start jacking a little bit. Let's do a little bit at a time. Okay. So far, so good. I also like to put a safety on here, just in case it gets out of control. All right, let's get up to where the safety pin can go. It's in the hole. Let's see. No more shaking. Back wheels off the ground, front wheels off the ground. You can safely work on this now, so pretty happy with that. I still don't like when it's not on these stands, but it is what it is. I'm not going to buy another one. There's still a high application. It would have to be something adjustable because when it's in the high position, you can't lift up beyond it and then set it down. It's basically, that's at the end of the jack's capacity as far as distance goes. So I'll have to make something with screws again and whatever. So what I'll do when I'm changing tires, for example, like I did just recently, we'll do all the work in the low position and just temporarily crank it up a little bit to get clearance to remove the tire and put it back down again. That's what I'll do. And the other bonus now is I can adjust the angle. Before it was always angled out in this direction. At least now I can adjust it to get it straight up and down and gives me a bit more confidence again. I wouldn't do any heavier bikes on this thing. The Heritage Softail is 725 pounds dry. So with gas and oil, and I still had the saddlebags on it. I'd remove them to do the tire, but to do the demonstration, I had the saddlebag and the tour pack still on there. So that brings it easily up to 750 pounds. The smaller bikes like the CB350 and the KZ440, no problem. It's just a piece of cake for this thing. The teeny tiny little bikes like the 90cc Honda here and the 80cc Suzuki, I needed to make adapters to make that one work. For the Suzuki, for example, I just made a simple little doodah that slips over one of the ends here, and this goes into the front down tube, so it's quite stable. And I just clamp it to the actual frame. And the 9A, there's two plugs in the swing arm. You pull out the plugs and these things go in, and again goes on across a one of these forks. So that works out pretty good. Get rid of that. Anyway, I guess that's it for this this modification. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe down below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.